11 things that I have identified will be presented in 3 parts, and this is part 1. Hello everyone, Mireille Lixima Jackson here, welcoming you back for another segment of Mireille Talk. I thank you for joining me and also for subscribing to my channel. Turn on your notification and encourage others to subscribe and follow me on Instagram at mireille.lexima and turn on your notification for the next drop of my video. Today I'd like to talk about what gives me joy and makes my day. You know, as I'm living my best life, I do have a routine, things that makes my life easier. Okay, so let me share with you what makes my day. So do you ever think about the things that makes you happy during the day, from the time you wake up in the morning until the time you retire at night? I do. I make a list. If I have had a very good day, I try to think about what made that happen. What should I continue to do to make my life easier, to be stressless for me? So I make a list. So let me share with you my list. I have 11 things and I'm gonna go through them so that you would see. So we are probably on the same page. It really doesn't take much to make me happy. So first off is taking very long walks. I love to walk with Billy. We take long walks in the mornings or at night, either in our neighborhood or elsewhere. But lately we have not been walking in the neighborhood as much. We just moved to a new place, and where we have moved, it's very woody and there are signs of bears everywhere. So Billy has an ankle problem right now, so I don't want to go out and walk alone. And I have put that on the side for a little bit, because if I don't have Billy to protect me, my protector, I don't go out there and without any protection, without anybody around me to defend me. However, sometimes some of the neighbors, when they are walking along, I just kind of, tag along behind them, because if we are in group numbers, if there is a bear, we're not alone. So there are others around. Other places that we take a walk is on the beach. Sinking my feet in the sand and walking along the water, along the seashore, on the water, on the sea. It is very soothing and very calming. And walking in the park, be one with nature, as the trees are blossoming now, because this is springtime. It is a wonderful time. It is calming, it is decompressing, and makes you happy, it makes you lighter. So I love that, to go and take a long walks with Billy. So in the park, in the beach, or in the neighborhood, where have you? Next off is number 2 is I love gardening. One of my favorite pastimes is spending time in the garden with my plants and my flowering trees, my flowers, looking at them and spending time with them, replanting, planting. If I go to the nursery and I'm giving a reference of a particular plant or flower, I bring it home with me and then start nursing it and planting it all around. And because I love taking care of them, it is such a beautiful thing to have a yard. You have flowers, or in your house you have flowers around, and to decorate, because I don't like anything artificial. I like the real thing. I like the real flowers. I don't necessarily know that I do have a knack for caring for plants or growing them or keeping them alive, but I tried. That's all it takes, right? Just to try. And Mother Nature realizes that I do have the will, I have the desire. So Mother Nature said, okay, I'll hang by you. I'll hang with you and see how far you go. And so far it has been a blessing. My favorite flowers are orchids. Orchids of all types, all colors. They are beautiful. They're very angelic. If you have ever taken a look at the leaves of the orchids, they look like little angels that are flying around. And some of them are actually called angels too. Angel orchids. They're beautiful. But I have a particular penchant for white orchids. Now, this is where my patience is tested, because I like to keep them indoor, to keep them around me and beautify my home. As I said, I don't like anything artificial. And from what I understand, orchids thrive better in an open environment, preferably in the warm environment of a patio setting on the outside. I know some people have them hanging to their trees and it looks beautiful. They grow in the wild very well as well. And some people have them hanging on their fences. And it is gorgeous as decoration. I love that. But I like to keep my white orchids inside, and the others I would keep them on the outside. And it's most unfortunate. I used to have so many orchids and so many flowers, but since I moved, the person who purchased my old house, the buyer liked a lot of the plants that I had and wanted a lot of the pots, so I had to leave them behind and part with them. So now I am just regrouping and recollecting again. So it's okay, and I love the hunt, and I go out and look for what pleases me, what works for me, and it works. And I love that. So these are the ones that really makes me happy, are the white orchids. Next off, the third thing is I love my bed. I lay in bed to do everything. I cuddle and get under the covers. It's my sanctuary, it's my refuge. I stay in bed to watch TV. I read sometimes. I write sometimes. I play games sometimes, except I do not eat in the bedroom because I don't want any critters to crawl up in bed with me, coming and look for little pieces of food that may have fallen. And that's what I had learned, when I was growing up. And one thing that actually changed, I never did like to stay in bed. Once I get off the bed, you don't go back until you go back to sleep at night. But my habits have changed. What can I say? I'm getting old and I do things the way that I want to do things. And I love it. My mother used to say, women, young girls, do not stay in bed, and you do not go to bed early, and you do not, occupy the bedroom, not until that it's made for sleeping, that's all it's made for. Well, things have changed for me. I see it completely different. I mean, no offense, Mom, and I know that rest in peace, but no offense, but that's just the way that I see it, and I do, and it's very happy. It makes me very happy. It's my refuge and my sanctuary. I turn in very early. I turn in usually around 7 p.m. By that time, my energy evaporates like a deflated balloon. I just cannot stand anymore because of the fact that I get very tired by that time in my line of work, doing interpretations, talking all day, either at the court or doing depositions. I'm done. By nighttime, I have no more energy. I have no more strength. So I retire very early, and everybody knows that. My phone is turned off by 7 o'clock, and you know that I'm not going to be answering the phone. And sometimes if somebody needs something urgently, they call Billy and tell Billy, well, this is what's happening. But otherwise, I retire very early. Next off, the fourth thing is I like to be alone. Alone time is my thing. As I said, in my line of work, because I talk a lot and I interact with a lot of people, when I finally get home and have that alone time, it is mine. I get to be very selfish with it. When the house is quiet, all is still, it is only myself behind my thoughts. I like that. It's like my strength is being replenished. The silence speaks to me. It gives me time to think about what happened yesterday, what happened today, about the present time where I am right now, and also about future possibilities. Alone time is a reflection time for me, especially like on Saturday morning. I would get up and I'm by myself. Billy is still asleep, and since I wake up early, I am out there and get myself a cup of coffee or a cup of tea, depending, and then there I am. On Sunday morning, I wait for the church service to start, but before then, it's my time that I am alone by myself and just think about all kinds of things, and with my phone still on silent because that time is mine, no interruptions possible. And then when it comes time for the church service, I just turn my phone back on and then I listen to the church service. I don't physically go to church anymore. I haven't started back because of COVID. A lot of people are saying COVID is on the low, and many are saying it's on the rise. But for our own protection, we don't expose ourselves, and we just take as much precaution as we possibly can, because heaven knows that I'm exposed enough at work doing the jobs that I do, because if I don't work on Zoom or on telephone conferences, I work in the courts where I'm standing right next to a defendant and interpreting. So because of that, or that I am in a deposition, since COVID has hit, we've done a lot of things by Zoom. So talking a lot, alone time works for me, and it's something for me to grace myself with. This completes part one of the three-part segment of what brings happy to my day and gives me a very smooth day all throughout. As you heard, it is long walks, gardening, my bed, and alone time. Stay tuned and turn on your notification for the next drop of the other two parts of what makes me happy throughout the day. And thank you for joining me. Subscribe and share with a friend. Until the next time, be safe and be well.